Fungal Growth. Maybe not. Or there you go. And gonna Fungal Growth again. And it looks like actually MC with his great, terrific force fields was able to lock out most of Naugrim's army, able to take out all the Zerglings on their own, and then the rest of the army just kind of fell apart. Fungal Growths aren't really enough to deal enough damage on their own to really be effective. You know, they're not like storms or something. They're meant to hold units in place. They deal damage too, but they're meant to hold units in place. Now we do see that MC is now on his third base as well, counting workers. We do see that Naugrim is indeed ahead on worker count. Which means he does have an economic advantage. However, MC has a definite army advantage. He has more supply, and he has, I think, a better unit composition. This many infestors I don't think is going to be super effective. He does have Neuroparasite. If he Neuroparasites effectively and micros effectively to be able to Fungal Growth his opponent's army, then it's possible he'll be able to win. But I just don't see the Zerglings and the Hydralisks surviving for long enough to be able to really make that worthwhile. So I actually do think that that Naugrim's army is a little bit behind. However, he is double expanding it both into the gold and into the hit and right expansion to try to catch up. Well, I mean, he's ahead economically, but to try to catch up with MC right here. MC's got the Death Push, the very famous Death Push, which Zerg players were very upset about and thought was incredibly overpowered and super easy to do, which it is super easy to assemble, which is just Void Rays on top of Colossus on top of Gateway units, and then you just ball that army up and then move forward. And I think probably the way that Naugrim wants to deal with that army is just by Fungal Growthing it constantly, basically. And he's got the Infestors to be able to do it. He's getting a bunch of Banelings. Baneling drops is another way to handle that. And they probably will be ready in time, I would say. The drops, not the Banelings. The Banelings will definitely be ready in time because drops are just finishing in 10 more seconds. And he wants to make sure that he's going to go load up all these Banelings. And then what you do is you Fungal Growth the army, and then the Banelings... You Fungal Growth the army itself, and then they can't run away or separate at all, and then the Banelings just drop on top of them and deal a lot of damage. We saw that in the previous game in the final battle when the Banelings just dropped on that army and just dealt a lot of damage. And so we're going to go ahead and see the engagement now. Fungal Growth. We do see the Neuroparasites. Where are the Fungal Growths? No Fungal Growths, though. I will say, doing these Baneling drops are extremely difficult to pull off because... To do the Baneling drop while running, and actually the Neuroparasites are effective. Is he Neuroparasiting all of them? He is Neuroparasiting a lot of these guys, but the ones that are surviving are taking out the other Infestors, but it looks like he is actually able to take out all the Colossus. That was definitely a good trade on the part of Naugrim, and I believe he's going to be ahead of the army right now. Oh, actually, unit loss, he's still behind, and he's about to lose a lot of these Overlords as well. Is taking a big loss. Here he's about to lose this hatchery. Not the biggest deal in the world, as the hatchery, as the hatchery's way out of the way. He is counterattacking. There we go. This is exactly what you want to see. Little groups of Zerglings gonna just move in here. The cannons, though, and the stalkers that are warping in are just gonna be able to deal with these Zerglings just fine. So it's not gonna be very effective. But it's what you want to do. You want to be able to find that. That Colossus is lucky to be alive at 6 health. Man, Naugrim wishes he had killed that one. We do see more Banelings loading up. It seems like his Banelings are not quite in the numbers that he wants them to be. And actually, MC's army was able to re-macro up very quickly and is very fearsome again. A lot of Colossus in the background. And even though his opponent's getting 3 weapons upgrades and MC still only has 1 weapons upgrade, MC's unit composition is just much better at this point in time. And he's able to snipe a lot of these Infestors, able to keep firing at these Overlords to stop the drops from going on. And I think actually this push is probably just going to kill his opponent. But we just see one final engagement. The Banelings are going to go ahead and drop on his forces. Great move, able to blink out of the way, take out the Overlords. The Colossus were able to deal with the Banelings after they dropped out. There's incredible micro on the part of MC there. That was absolutely terrific. A way to dodge those Banelings, and able to dodge those two as well. And the already injured Colossus was able to take those and be just fine. His shields are still full. And actually, we might be seeing a GG pretty soon because there just aren't any forces on the part of Naugrim. He's just out of units. So it looks like MC, even though he was, maybe a little behind economically for some of the portions of the game, was able to go ahead and win this game. He had absolute terrific micro. He had much better unit combination with the Void Rays and the Colossus, and he was able to take game 2. So we're going to go ahead and move on to game 3. It's going to be on Crossfire, which if you haven't watched the Crossfire video, go watch the Crossfire video, and we'll see who spins into eternal damnation in the future. But this is PGL Milncraft signing off.